Hi again! Today we are going to be filling an order that was purchased on my website. The website is over in the description and there's a direct link to it. So I hope you enjoy this video and here we go. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make
a girly sugar skull, a sealed with a kiss envelope, a tiny glow-in-the-dark star, a pea pod with peas, a cup of ramen noodles with a fortune cookie, and a lollipop kit.
The materials you're going to need today include a multi-thickness pasta tool, acrylic colors, super fine paintbrush tip, 24 gauge wire, eye pins, a multi-tool for wire cutting and wire shaping, a shaper tool for clay. It's not a necessity, but definitely helpful if you have a set of mini cookie cutters. You can buy cookie cutters like these at any kitchen supply store that sells specialty items. I recommend investing in a set of polymer clays. I recommend both Sculpey and Fimo clays. The first item we're going to make is the peas in the pod, and you're only going to need 2 colors of polymer clay, dark green and light green. First you're going to start with 3 chunks of light green polymer clay, and these are going to become the 3 peas in the pod. Okay, now those are complete. Next you're going to condition a larger piece of the dark green clay and run it through the pasta roller at a medium setting, about a 5 or a 6. After you have your piece of rolled out polymer, go ahead and take your peas, set them in the center, and roll up the pea pod around them. With a blade, cut off any extra. Use your fingers to seal that. And just pinch around the peas to make them snug and secure. After it goes through the process of curing in the oven, then we'll go ahead and we'll paint the faces. The girly sugar skull is equally as easy. You're going to start off with translucent polymer clay, condition it, and roll it through the pasta roller at the thickest setting, and on mine that is a 7. To make this extra thick, I double up the thickness just by folding it over. So now it's the thickness of double 7. Take my largest of my small circles, press through evenly. There you go, the beginning of your sugar skull. Shape it into a skull shape with your fingers, push in, and then flatten the bottom. All done? Now we're going to add the details to the skull. Use your polymer tool, and this is going to make the indents for the teeth at the bottom. To create the eyes, you're going to use 2 small pieces of black. Set those with the back of your needle tool. Don't forget the nostrils. And that's the beginning of the girly sugar skull. It'll get its details after it comes out of the oven. Now we're going to make a lollipop kit, which is one of my favorite things to make. It's so fun and it's actually really easy. You're just going to get a tiny little piece of each color of polymer clay: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. Okay, go ahead and just combine those end to end. Roll it out. You want it about the thickness of a thick pencil lead. After you have your color snake, you're going to roll out a translucent snake. Once you have it about the same length and thickness, pinch the ends together. Give it a twist. Twist it until it has a uniform thickness and then twirl it up. And the stick is actually a toothpick. Determine where the end of the handle is going to be, score it, and then it should just break apart. And that's the end of the lollipop kit until it comes out of the oven. Now I'm going to teach you how to make the tiny glow-in-the-dark star. Here's my star set of cookie cutters, and I bought these at a kitchen supply store. The tiny cookie cutter makes the tiniest star shape. Take a slice of glow-in-the-dark, run it through the pasta roller at the thickest setting. To make my stars a little thicker, I fold over the 7. Your new thickness will be a double 7. Use your tiny star with gentle pressure straight through. And to get these shapes out without damaging them, I use a blow technique that I demonstrated on a previous video. This is the end of the glow-in-the-dark star until I paint its face after curing in the oven. Next, I'm going to show you how to make the sealed with a kiss envelope. You're going to need white polymer clay for the envelope and a tiny piece of pink or red polymer clay for the heart. The back details are done with acrylic paint. Slice off a piece of white, condition it, and then run it through the pasta roller at a 3 or 4 setting. After you roll out your envelope, you're going to score it in the shape of an envelope. Start with a rectangle in the middle, and then you're going to have side flaps and a top and a bottom flap. Score out the shape of your envelope with a blade, but do not cut all the way through. These are just going to be guiding lines for cutting. Once you have your guiding lines cut, go ahead and press all the way through.
We're professional punkers, we come from the suburbs. After 15 years, we're still having fun. Now we're over 30, not looking so pretty.
Okay, after you have your envelope shape cut out, you're ready to fold it. Lay the envelopes on your finger for a moment to warm them up. That will help prevent cracking when you fold it. No cracking, looks good. Your envelope shape is complete.
That's Eric, our drummer. His father's a plumber. He drank enough booze to get Rhode Island drunk. Now sober but smelly, he's got one big belly from living the good life provided by punk.
Now for the ramen noodles and fortune cookie. You will need brown toasty fortune cookie color, and this is transparent red. The noodles are made with a flesh tone, and the peas and carrots, of course, are green and orange. The chopsticks are made out of toothpicks. Okay, start with your warm toasty brown color. Run it through the pasta machine at a 2 or a 3. Once you have it thinned out, use a large circle. Pinch it in half. Seal it at the edges slightly, and then pull it into a cookie shape. That's it. That's the fortune cookie. Now time for the ramen. Use a fleshy kind of tone for the ramen noodle and just start rolling it out into a very thin snake, about the thickness of an actual pencil lead. Peas and carrots are simple, tiny, tiny pieces of green. I make tiny carrots using my blade to cut slices. The box stripe is made from red that's been rolled out into a snake and then run through the pasta machine to flatten. Run the snake through at a very, very thin setting, a 1 or a 2. From a fresh piece of translucent, cut a square. Bevel cut each edge. Cut a thin slice for each of the sides of the box. Line these up with the edge of the box. This will give the appropriate width. Shape them similar to envelope flaps. Create the red stripe. Okay, now take your noodle and start curling it into the box. Score 1 toothpick at each end to make the 2 chopsticks. Insert the chopsticks into the noodles. Use your needle tool to place the vegetables. And place the flaps on either side. And this is the end of the ramen box until we paint the face after curing in the oven. Now for hardware attachment, the more heavy-duty items such as the ramen and the pea pod, they're going to get the eye pins. Now the smaller items, those are going to have findings that I make out of 24 gauge wire. They're very simple. You just take your wire tool, bend the wire in half, and snip it. Then to insert this, hold it by the edge and press it into the top of the polymer.
Alright, these items are ready to be baked at approximately 260 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes.
So here's everything out of the oven, ready for details with paint. Once again, we're going to use acrylic paint, black and white, hot pink and light pink.